So this morning I'm talking with Andy Williams. Andy Williams is executive director at Visit Roswell, and that is the Roswell Convention and Visitors Bureau. And the reason that we're talking to Andy is because he is so connected to Roswell, and it'll give everybody an opportunity just to find out what he's learning about what's going on in Roswell. So let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, Andy. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm terrific.
Good.
How are you dealing with all of this social distancing and isolation?
It's a big adjustment. It's a big adjustment, especially for people who, are people, who like to be in front and talking and in-person meetings. So, we're having to get used to it. Obviously, we're doing a lot of Zoom meetings and conference calls and things of that nature, but it's the new normal. We're calling it business as unusual. We're all trying to adjust as best as we can. So we're taking it day by day.
Yeah, well, it certainly looks like you have a beautiful place to isolate.
Oh, we try. Yeah, we love living in Roswell, and luckily enough, we've got some good trees in our yard, so it's a little bit of an escape for us.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite things about social isolation?
Well, I mean, thank goodness we've got technology that's in place now that allows us to still connect with our team members and get things going and keep things moving. It's a little bit more of a challenge just because we have a 1.5 and a 3.5-year-old. So kind of juggling, staying busy with the things that we've got going on, which honestly, we've been busier than ever because of all of this. So balancing that with keeping them occupied and whether it's in front of the TV or doing reading with them and all that stuff, it's just, it's a balancing act at this point. I know a lot of other people are going through it as well. So
right. Well, at least they're not school age yet. My daughter is going nuts trying to be a homeschool teacher. And that's quite an adjustment. So what is your least favorite thing?
Least favorite thing is just not being able to engage with people in a one-on-one setting. I love being able to jump into meetings, whether it's going to see a restaurateur or going to a brewery to meet with any of the brewery owners, going to City Hall, to engage in a meeting about something that we've got cooking. So, it's just it's an adjustment on that end because I love being around people. So, it's just something we're all having to get used to, and I'm not sure I'll ever really get used to it because it's just not in my DNA. But we're making the best out of a bad situation.
Well, you brought up restaurants. What are you hearing from the restaurants and the breweries?
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's pretty simple. The foot traffic's not there anymore because of the shelter in place. People are doing all that they can to help flatten the curve. And, with that comes the fact that business sales are down. So whether you're considering, a small business, a retailer or a restaurant or a brewery, sales are down just because they don't have that walk-up traffic and people can't necessarily plan, to go grab a beer, to go browse one of the art galleries, to buy, some olive oil at Olean Bay. So things like that, that have shifted have just really caused the restaurants and any of our partners really to have to shift their models and the way they do business and the way they promote now. So the fact of the matter is, sales are down. They're having to be extremely creative with what they're doing. And there's a big local support right now in regard to the restaurants, the curbside pickup and the to-go orders, and the delivery is really what they're saying is their lifeline to get them through this. But, they still had to address layoffs and things like that. And at the end of the day, even though there's really good local support right now, which I know they all appreciate, as do we, once we get through this for the next couple of years, that local support is going to really need to continue because based on the data we're tracking right now, this is 7 times worse than 9/11 and the economic downturn. So
we're sure experiencing that.
Yeah, it is. And it's not a doom and gloom situation. It's just a fact of life at this point that we're really going to have to bounce back and support one another at the local level once we get through it.
Are you seeing any evidence of people really pulling together? Yeah. What are you seeing happening?
I would say that's the thing that I'm most proud about. And, I know other communities are doing it as well. And maybe it's just because I'm so plugged into Roswell, but it seems to me that Roswell is doing it the right way. And I think the easy thing to do would be for any of our businesses to harp on the sad side of things. But what we've seen is that even with business being down, our businesses have stepped up even more. And I think what they've said is, we're here to pull together, to be cohesive, and to help our community. So, a number of different examples really come to mind. Chattahoochee Nature Center has harvested their fresh produce, and they continue to donate that to the North Fulton charities. Table and Maine has launched their Table and Aid project, where they give out free food, no questions asked, to what they're calling the food insecure. So whether you've lost your job, you need food for your family, however COVID-19 has affected you and your family, they've got meals that they're ready to provide. And I think they're averaging like 160 meals a day. So it's awesome. We've launched a school meal program that some dedicated individuals have done. So we've gotten a lot of buy-in from different restaurants. It's a way for citizens to both support the restaurants through purchasing, putting payment towards the restaurant, and in turn the restaurants are able to take that and apply those funds to feeding school children that are in need. The We Are Roswell yard sign program, these are great signs that people are starting to purchase. They've started selling a lot of those at $24. All the profits from those go to the school meal program. And then on our side at Visit Roswell, we've been working with the Giving Kitchen, which supports the food service industry. And the fact of the matter is, people are being laid off. Some people are losing their housing. They're being evicted from their apartments. It's just, what we're dealing with in this situation. So we've partnered with a couple of our hotels to offer deeply discounted rates that the Giving Kitchen is sending people into our hotels, that need it. So just a lot of other, restaurants and small businesses stepping up to the plate when it'd be really easy to get down right now. And I think that's just very inspiring in our community.
What about our hotels?
Hotels, occupancy is down right now. The good news is we actually still have people that are staying within the hotels. Hotels are considered essential business. The nationwide trend is that occupancy is down 50%. We're not seeing it down that far. So, we're hanging on. We do know the revenues are not going to be what they've been in the past, especially what they were at the beginning of this year. But, it's just one of those things. It's the hand that we're dealt. We're going to make adjustments. We're going to work to get business back to those hotels as soon as we can. Once consumer confidence and travel confidence comes back, you're going to see the CVB take a grassroots effort in getting groups back, weddings back into town, and then leisure business into town. And hopefully that influences the hotels and the occupancy levels there.
Do you think things are going to change when we hit the other side? I mean, the way people do things and operate?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think twofold. I think you're gonna see the term staycation come back again because two reasons. I don't think the confidence is going to be back right off the bat. So I think what's going to happen is people are going to say, instead of jumping on a plane and going across the country for vacation, we're going to stay within that kind of 4-hour radius, and we're going to drive. And on the other side of that, I think people are going to say, now more than ever, we need to support our local businesses and our local communities. So you're going to see people from the state of Georgia traveling within the state of Georgia, and you're going to see the whole "be a tourist in your own hometown" phrase come back. And I think people are going to really lean into that and support our businesses and our partner organizations. This goes beyond even restaurants and small business. I mean, we've seen what it's done with the Georgia Ensemble Theater and the Chattahoochee Nature Center with their foot traffic and things like that. So it's going to be paramount that our not only our local residents, but those that are in the surrounding communities around us come and support those types of organizations. And our marketing is even going to shift to target those folks to get as much business as we can back through these folks' doors. That's
fabulous. And I know you're going to be at the forefront of that.
Absolutely. That is our job, and we will absolutely be.
So what do you see as the silver lining in all of this when it's over? Or do you see a silver lining?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what's going to happen is people are going to look back on this and say, wow, we never went through anything like this, and we hopefully never will again. So it's toughened people up. I think it's forced people to adapt. It's required people to think outside of the box and offer hybrid business models. And, what they're going to look back on too is they're going to say, wow, we really came together as a community and supported one another. And even, the local competitors have jumped into the sandbox together and are getting things done. And in my opinion, that also influences travel. I firmly believe that people travel to destinations that have a great quality of life and a good cohesive community. And we're really experiencing that right now. And I think that's only going to help us in the future.
Yeah, and yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The other thing I think that occurs to me is that people are going to appreciate the things that they're not able to do now more when they're able to do them again. Things that we've always taken for granted.
I absolutely agree.
Okay, well, what would you like to leave our audience with tonight or this afternoon?
Yeah, well, I would say, if you're not following the Visit Roswell, Georgia Facebook page, definitely do that. We're posting a lot on ways to support local business safely. We're also showcasing what our different organizations and businesses are doing differently, how they're promoting now, what types of programs they're offering right now, being based on their adaptation in this type of situation. And I would say, think about the future too. There's strong local support right now, but again, the recovery time and the bounce back is going to take a little while. It's not going to be immediate. So think about, buying local products, supporting local vendors. If you've got group business that whether it's a wedding or a corporate piece of group business that you typically place, in another destination, consider keeping it in Roswell. We've got everything from wedding venues to great hotels, more hotels coming online that are going to need the support. And, everybody from the restaurant to the Roswell Arts Fund, to the Chattahoochee Nature Center, to the Georgia Ensemble Theater, focus on those. We need to build back one another together. And like I said, it's going to be extremely critical to us bouncing back. And I know we will.
Andy, I want to thank you so much for taking your time today to talk with me and to get together with Georgia Ensemble Theater. And so one more time, if people wanted to know more about Visit Roswell, how would they find that information?
Yeah, so right now the best way, we continuously update our website. That is visitroswellga.com. So you can find out everything that's going on, with all of our partner listings, COVID-19 updates. We're really trying to do a good job of keeping that information updated and accurate. And then we're doing a lot on social now, just like everybody else. So I would recommend following us on Facebook. The search on that is Visit Roswell, Georgia, spelled out. And then on Instagram as well, we're doing posting a lot and trying to showcase what's going on around the city there as well. And that's Visit Roswell, just GA, Visit Roswell GA. So any of those outlets.
Fabulous. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the other side.
Sounds good. Same to you.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Oh, hey, Chris.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Fancy meeting you here.
Likewise. You want to do a song?
Let's do it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though you meet with the darkness and strife, the sunny side you also may do. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It'll help us every day. It'll brighten all the way if we keep on the sunny side of life. Though the storm and its fury broke today, crushing hopes that we cherish so dear, clouds and storms will in time pass away. The side.